There's one unconditional love story, Julaibib as he is usually called. This title itself may indicate physical characteristics and a position among humans, dwarf and lowly. Julaibib, unusual and incomplete name. Of course, he didn't want this name himself, neither did his parent. Julaibib came into the world without knowing who his father was, who his mother was. People don't know or don't want to know about Julaibib's lineage, not known what tribe he belongs to. Fortunately for the Yathrib people, racelessness and ethnicity are unforgivable social defects. Julaibib was left out. His physical appearance and daily life also make it difficult for humans to get close to him. His ugly face looks scary, short, hunchback, black, poor. The fabric is worn out. His clothes are shabby. His feet were broken and bare. There is no house for shelter. Sleep on his hands, covered with sands and gravel. There is no house or furniture. Drink only from public pools splashed with the palm of the hands. Abu Barzah, a leader of the Bani Aslam, even said that about Julaibib. Never let Julaibib come among you. By Allah, if he dares to do that, I will do something terrible to him. That's Julaibib. However, if Allah wishes to send down His mercy, no creature can hinder it. Julaibib was chosen to receive guidance, and he always at the forefront of prayer and jihad, even though almost everyone still treats him as if he were God. This is not the case with the apostle, the mercy to the universe. Julaibib, who lived in the Shufah of the Nabawi Mosque, was reprimanded one day by Rasulullah SAW. Yes, Julaibib, he called softly. Aren't you married? And Julaibib answered, Who is the person, O Rasulullah? Who wants to marry his daughter to me? Julaibib answered while still smiling. There was no impression of feeling sorry for himself or blaming Allah's fate in his words or facial expressions. Rasulullah SAW also smiled. Maybe there are no parents who like Julaibib. But the next day, when he met Julaibib, Rasulullah SAW asked the same thing. O Julaibib, aren't you married? And Julaibib answered with the same answer, 3 days in a row. And on the third day, the Prophet took Julaibib by the arm and took him to one of the houses of an Ansar leader. I want to, said the messenger of Allah to the owner of the house, I want to marry your daughter. How beautiful and what a blessings, the garden answered beaming, thinking that Rasulullah SAW was his future son-in-law. Oh, Rasulullah, this is truly a light that removed the gloom from our house. And Rasulullah said, but not for me. I asked for your daughter, for Julaibib. Julaibib was shocked, yes, for Julaibib. Oh, Rasulullah, a heavy sigh was heard. I have to ask my wife's opinion about this. And then the wife said, huh? With Julaibib? How is that possible? Julaibib, who is ugly, has no reputations, no rank, no wealth. By Allah, no. Our daughter will never marry Julaibib, even though we have rejected various applications. The debate didn't last long. The princess from the behind the curtain said crisply, Who else? The father and the mother explained. And are you going to refuse the request of the messenger of Allah? By Allah, send me to him. And by Allah, because it was the messenger of Allah who asked, he will not bring destruction or loss to me. The pious girl then read this verse. And it is not appropriate for believing men and believing women. If Allah and His messenger have determined a decree, there will be for them other choices regarding their affairs. And whoever disobeys Allah and His messenger has indeed gone astray, truly gone astray. In Quratu Surah Al-Azhab, verse 33 to 36. And the Prophet then prayed for the pious girl, Allahumma shubbah alayhima khairan shabban, wa la taj'al aishahuma kaddan kadda. Ya Allah, bestow goodness upon them in abundance full of blessing, don't make his life miserable and problematic. MashaAllah, beautiful prayer. Indeed, we learn from Julabib not to curse ourselves, not to blame fate, to complete surrender and obedience to Allah and His Messenger. It's not easy to be someone like Julabib, living with a very limited choices. When obedient, he doesn't worry about his ability. Indeed, there are definitely human limits that are too high for us to exceed. But if we have obeyed Allah, don't worry about that anymore. He knows that limits of our ability. He will not burden us more than that. Julabib's wives had obeyed Allah and His Messenger. Allah knows best, and the Messenger of Allah prayed. Let's remember that prayer again. Oh Allah, bless them with a goodness in abundance, full of blessing. Don't make his life miserable and problematic. How majestic. Our business as servant is to obey Allah. As not, if we have faith in Him, Allah will open a way out of problems that are beyond our controls. He obeyed. He acted without hesitation. He believed that the door to goodness will always be open to anyone who obeys Allah and His Messenger. So the Prophet's prayer was true. So Allah grants a beautiful way out for everyone. So being together in this world is not destined to last too long. Even though in the world the wife is pious and devout, the angel has missed her for too long. Julabib is more sought after by the heavens, even though he is marginalized on earth. He is more worthy to live in heaven than a world that is not very friendly to him. When Julabib was martyred, the Prophet was truly lost, but he will teach something to his friends. So the Prophet asked at the end of the battle, "Did you lose anyone?" "No, Rasulullah." It seems that Julabib really doesn't make any difference between his presence and absence among them. "Have you lost anyone?" He Rasulullah SAW asked again. This time, his face turned red. "No, Rasulullah." This time, some answered with anxiety and were not as confident as before. Some looked right and left. Rasulullah SAW sighed. "But I lost Julabib," he said. The friends woke up. "Look for Julabib." So he was found, the noble Julabib, killed with injuries all from the front, surrounded by the scattered bodies of 7 enemies he had killed. Rasulullah SAW with his own hands blessed the martyr. Rasulullah SAW prayed it personally when his grave was dark. The Messenger of Allah sat and held Julabib's body, cradling with his 2 noble arms. He even went down to his grave to lay Julabib to rest. At that time, the Prophet's word to the deceased will make all creatures jealous until the day they rise. Oh Allah is part of me and I am part of Him. Yes. In that sentence, aren't we jealous?